As you probably know, we on Living St. Louis love to see how things are made. Big things and small things, everyday things, one-of-a-kind things. Because almost always there's more to it than meets the eye.
A deer hunt for two, and how much? Would somebody give $4,000 for the trophy deer hunt?
In February 2008, Child Center Marygrove hosted their Have a Heart, Build a Future Gala.
2021, there's one, 21, not two.
The proceeds from the event's silent and oral auctions benefit Marygrove's residential treatment program for severely abused and neglected children.
There's always 130. Every single bed is always full. They have a waiting list so long. If they were twice as large, in 2 months they'd be full.
1,300, you would get 1,400, and I have...
A report on charitable giving in the St. Louis area revealed that $2.5 billion were donated to charity by individuals and businesses from this region in 2002. And 70% of those dollars benefited local charities like Child Center Marygrove.
Imagine how much just their electric and all these things are. It's an $8 million plus budget, and there's just no way of doing it without the support of the donors in St. Louis.
Genovese Jewelers, a local family-owned jewelry business, was among those supporters. They designed a rare 15-carat aquamarine pendant just for this event.
And I'm told it's valued at $8,500.
The reason it's rare is due to its size, because in the cutting process, the actual rough crystal that comes from the ground would lose approximately 50% of its weight. So we're talking about almost a 30-carat stone came from the ground to manufacture this particular piece, to cut this particular stone. When Jennifer came with the idea for Marygrove, I thought this would be the perfect stone for the piece.
You wouldn't think it'd take much for a jeweler to donate jewelry to a charity auction. After all, they have cases of the stuff. But you don't just wear a precious stone. It has to be set in something beautiful made of white gold surrounded by 30 brilliant cut diamonds. And it starts with a simple drawing.
Well, when I say simple, I mean simple to a computer design specialist who transforms a drawing into 2D and 3D images. The drawing is precise in its measurements. Remember, this setting is for a specific stone, and the slightest discrepancy in the measurements jeopardizes the entire piece.
In jewelry, a millimeter is a mile, and we're dealing in tenths of a millimeter. So when we're actually carving this, we have it down to that exact dimensions that the piece needs to be to hold the stone properly, so that it not only looks good, but is engineered to be structurally sound.
It's the combination of technology and practice that have made their designs go hand in hand with the dimensions of their stones. And with the click of a mouse, a milling machine carves an exact model of the pendant out of a block of wax. Using this type of technology to carve the wax pendant is relatively new. Genovese has only been doing it this way for the last couple of years.
Up until 3 years ago, everything that we carved had to be carved by hand, and we have some true gifted hand wax carvers here, who you could call true artists. But it's impossible to hand carve to the detail that the computer-aided design system can do.
Carving this particular pendant will take about an hour, but the more intricate settings can take as long as 4 hours. And compared to hand carving, I guess that's not that long. However, each wax setting is a one-time use only.
Can you reuse this mold?
No, because when we take the actual wax that's being carved, we're going to have that disintegrate to pour the molten metal into it.
So every time you want to make a setting of any kind, whether it be a ring,
you have to have another wax.
You have to have another wax.
Yes.
This is what's going to cost $8,000?
This is, yes. This 3-cent piece of wax will soon be worth $8,000 in a matter of days.
This pendant needs to go through quite a transformation to increase its value nearly 8,000%. Using the lost wax casting method, it will be plastered, baked, and eventually disintegrated before any precious metals enter the process.
We're going to put this in a little canister in a minute, something very similar to this right here. And we're going to fill this little canister up with a plaster of Paris type substance that we're going to let harden overnight. And then we're going to bake it.
Once the plaster is baked and the impression formed, the more valuable setting can be cast by melting white gold and pouring it into the canister.
Depending on the metal, there's different times it'll take to cool down. White gold, it'll typically take about 15-20 minutes to cool down to where we can pull it out of there.
Oh, that's it?
That's it. For example, platinum. Platinum goes from a liquid state to a solid state in less than 1 second. So that pour,
so you have to move really quickly.
You have to move very quickly. Usually, instead of pouring, you have to use centrifugal force to literally shoot the metal into the canister. You cannot pour platinum the way we just did this white gold. This surprises everyone that almost every single piece of jewelry, almost every ring that you're wearing, has gone through this process.
And it's not over yet. At this point, the pendant is referred to as a rough cast. And before it can be set with diamonds and the aquamarine, it will be sandpapered, wire brushed, filed, then polished. Now come the diamonds. The pendant will be adorned by 27 2.2 millimeter diamonds that will surround the 15 karat aquamarine. About 7 people had a hand in creating this one piece, and their hard work will be enjoyed by the high bidder supporting Marygrove.
Sold them $7,000 UN, $7,000, and put them in the bank. Number 107, 7,000, 107, 107 is the winner. 107, 107 wins.